Hey guys, Pastor Art here with your Manna and Coffee. You know, I just did a live video on Facebook. I really enjoyed it. I was talking about politics, but I don't want to talk about that here. But I do want to talk about something that is near and dear to my heart. Why is it that we, as born-again believers, washed in the blood of the Lamb and given over, and we have Christ in our hearts, and Christ lives in us, and we live through Him, why do we continue to sin? Why do we give into that? You know, Paul said it very well when he said, you know, why is it that the things I shouldn't do, I do, and the things I should do, I don't do? You know, I ask myself that question a lot too, because there are times when I just don't do what God tells me to do. But you know, there's one thing that I do every morning. I wake up and I think to myself, how can I please God today? I don't wake up and consciously say, how can I sin today? How can I do something against God today? I always wake up thinking, how can I bless God today? You know, when you're a true born-again believer and you really do have the love of Christ in you, you exercise the 2 commandments that He gave you to fulfill all of the commandments, because He came to fulfill the commandments, not to put them aside. And I actually love loving people. I do. I don't care whether they could cuss me out, they could flip me off, it doesn't matter, I still love them. You know what, I know they're lost. I know they need Jesus in their lives. So why is it that Paul made that statement? Why is it the things I shouldn't do, I do, and the things I ought to do, I don't do? It's because sometimes we question our spirituality, and we question our relationship with Christ. You know, Jesus said through Paul that He's given us an adoption into his family. And I don't know about you, but man, when, you know, I have a person that's near and dear to me, like Linda, you know, the last thing I want to do is to hurt her or do something bad that would hurt her. I want to love her. I want her to be happy. I want you guys to be happy. I want you to take these videos and share them with your friends and get them saved. But you know what? We struggle with those things. What if I'm not doing the right thing? You know what? No matter what you're doing the right thing. The thing is, please God. We need to be a God pleaser more than a man pleaser. And I know I've heard that from the pulpit from many pastors. I've even said it. I just said it. You know, we need to be a God pleaser today. You know, if you think more about what God is doing for you in your life, then the things of the world, as the song says, will go strangely dim. In the light of His glory and grace, you know what? God will change you. Nobody wakes up in the morning thinking about how they can sin and do evil against God. Nobody does. I know you don't. I don't. But I always wake up wondering how I'm going to bless God today. Who's going to come into my life that I can share the gospel with? Who's going to come into my life that needs a smile in the morning? Who's going to come into my life today that needs encouragement? You know, we need more encouragers today, because believe me, this world, there are plenty of discouragers. There is so much discouragement. We hear it on the news, we hear it in the papers, we hear it on the streets, we hear it from people. People are discouraging. They just know how to just be Debbie Downers and Bert Bummers. I'll tell you. But how many of them want to be lifters, to lift you up? I want to lift you up. I want you to start every day with the Word of God and know that He loves you. I love you. Linda loves you. Pastor Tony loves you. We are lifting you guys up every day because we want you to be God pleasers and not man pleasers. And it's simple. Sometimes it's just a smile. Sometimes it's just doing something for somebody. Not giving in to temptation, but going above and beyond it. Today, family, if you're struggling like Paul did with doing the things that you shouldn't do when you should do the things that you should do, remember, you are a child of the Most High God. He has adopted you. He has put you in His family, and you and Jesus are co-heirs to a kingdom. It says to be absent from this body is to be present with the Lord. You know what? We don't have to go through tribulations. We don't have to go and come back down and be in the second Jerusalem. Number one, because I'm not Jewish. I don't want to come back to this earth, even after all that stuff happens. Leave it to the Jews. It was promised to them. But I was promised a mansion in heaven. I was promised to reign with God forever in heaven. I'll take that over anything. And that keeps me from not doing the things I shouldn't do, because I know I want to be a God pleaser and not a man pleaser. You need the Godfidence today to know that you can stand on your own 2 feet and do what's right in God's eyes. May you be blessed. May God shine his face upon you. May he give you peace today, and may he help you to be a God pleaser. God bless you guys. Linda and I are praying for you. Pastor Tony and I here at Reach in Our City Ministries, we lift you up and know that God is going to do his utmost for you today. So won't you do your utmost for him as well? God bless you guys, and we'll talk to you real soon. Bye-bye.